So this is the official start of the Arboretum. This walnut tree was growing against our old house, and the day before we closed on the sale of the house, Lindsay and I were doing our final walkthrough of the house, saying goodbye to everything, and before we left, I dug up this tree. I knew that walnut trees had a big taproot, so I wanted to get the entire taproot out to give the tree the best chance of surviving the move. I was not expecting it to go down as deep as it did, and the only way that I was going to get this tree out of the ground was by bare rooting it. I did manage to get it out of the ground, wrapped in a rug, and thrown in the back of my pickup earlier that day before planting it, and this will be a sentimental start to the Arboretum, a memory of where we came from. I've mentioned my Arboretum idea before, and I think there's some general confusion as some people think this means that these trees will be a timber stand. This is slightly different. A stand is going to be planted with an end date in mind. Those trees would be grown to maturity and then logged. There's probably a few planned cycles to thin the trees over time, but regardless, those trees are planted to be lumber, and they're typically going to be planted with the most profitable species. The trees in the Arboretum are planted to be trees, examples of their species and the diversity between those species. It's a collection of trees. Granted, these trees will still end up with the same fate as trees planted for timber. Trees don't live forever, and when it's time for them to go, they'll go by ways of the sawmill and become something else, carrying on their story. A few years ago, I took a green Windsor making chair class with Paul Hayden over in the UK, and that's at Westernburg Arboretum. This was my first exposure to, let's say, a proper arboretum. The concept of having a collection of trees just really stuck with me. Just the idea of being able to walk around and see a living catalog of trees in various phases of development is just an incredible joy, and I'm happy to have the space to start my own collection. It's such a long-term project that I'll never see the true fruition of my efforts, but what I'm really looking forward to is sitting by this walnut tree with my grandchildren and telling them a story of how back in the spring of 21, their grandfather moved this tree from the house where their parents started their lives to this property where their parents grew up. The tree was uprooted and moved to a place where it could put down new roots and grow just like my family. That sounds a little sappy now, but I have a few years to work on the story. And of course, I'll also say that I had to walk uphill both ways to plant this tree. So as I was digging this hole along this prominent ridge line, what is going to be the focal point of the Arboretum, I discovered that this is actually more like a sand dune. A few inches down, and it turned out to be pure sand. I ran up and grabbed a bag of potting soil. That's all I had, so I could mix it and help retain water on the roots as they establish themselves. As I was backfilling, I mixed this potting soil with the kind of sandy soil here, and also used my bucket of water as I went to help water the roots and to help compact the soil. Sort of like, layering butter for your movie theater popcorn. So at this point it has been 2 months and the tree is alive. It did make the move, which feels really good. I probably should have pruned back a lot of the limbs when I planted it because it definitely had some serious shock, but I'm just happy it's alive. I'll end up pruning it into more of a tree shape once it kind of reestablishes itself, but it's alive and that's a win for me. This area is about 2 acres. It goes out to the road there, so that should give me a lot of space for a nice collection of trees. Already in here is this green ash specimen, so we've got that here as well. It's just pretty weird right now. It's just a blank slate. One of the fun things in this altitude is you can actually see where this like sand dune is. All the dead area has got to be just pure sand. Now I actually have one more tree to plant, So let's do that next. So here in this pot is actually another tree from the old house. This one just happened to find itself growing in this pot, and I never pulled it out. This is a box elder, so we're gonna find a spot for it in the Arboretum, and we can add box elder to the species list in the collection. So I think we'll go over here along the edge of the property. This is kind of a lower area. Should be a little bit more moist or damp, I guess. Box elder tends to like a little bit of a swampier condition. So this tree is going to get this grow tube, which will protect it from, deer and help it to grow straight. So I'm going to drop some of these lower limbs. Okay, so there is that one, box elder from the old house. There's a box elder I just planted. There is green ash, and then up there is walnut. But wait, there's more. These are some of my other trees. So these first 6 are some trees that I dug up around here. I have a lot more like open space throughout the property that I want to put trees in. So some of these will go into the Arboretum, and some of these will go around the property as just trees to have. So I have a cherry tree. These two here are cherry. This I think is either bur oak or swamp oak. We got a hard maple, and then I think it's a northern red oak right there. This guy here is a walnut. Now these, 6 trees over here, these are from a viewer named Greg out in Pennsylvania. He sent me a whole package of bare root saplings back in April. He sent me 2 hazelnuts, 2 Osage orange trees, and then he sent me 4 persimmon and 4 pawpaws. The pawpaws and 2 of the persimmons didn't make it, but I do have these 2 here. So what's interesting about these, which I'm going to try at least, like I've never seen a persimmon around here, so I don't think they grow here. Osage I know doesn't grow here. To get into its natural range, you have to go south about, 150 to 200 miles. So we'll see if they survive the winter, but it'd be really cool to have trees from other areas included in the Arboretum. Like for me, I haven't seen an Osage before, so it's really cool to be able to like, oh, it's an Osage tree, and they're really prickly because they got spines. I wouldn't know that. I just think it has awesome orange wood. So having these guys up here in the pots allow me to keep a good eye on them, give them some growth before they go into the ground, especially for these guys from around here. We're in a pretty heavy drought right now, so by having them up here, I can water them pretty easily and pretty readily, and that can give them a little more growth this year before I put them into the ground. So welcome to the Arboretum, my most ambitious and long-term project to date. I am looking forward to the many decades ahead of me to turn this into a collection of trees. I am looking forward to sharing this whole adventure with you. So thank you as always for watching. I greatly appreciate it. If you have any questions or comments on the Arboretum or anything back in the shop, please feel free to leave me a comment. As always, I'll be happy to answer any questions you might have. And until next time, happy woodworking.